Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the open Great League, and let's see if we can get some wins with this team. We're going to be using the Togedemaru paired with the Azu and the Shadow Drifblim. We get swapped out into the Dunsparce, so we're going to stay in, fire off the Wild Charge, and then we're going to dip out of there into the Azu. Azu is going to be able to tank these moves much easier, and looks like we're gonna have to tank at least one more. There comes the next one, and we already have some energy to throw a move. It was a CAP, and we're just gonna try to undercharge here so we can get some extra energy. They decided to swap out immediately into their own Drifblim. We do have energy for another Ice Beam, and we do grab that shield. Our opponent does throw a move here, and we're just gonna let this go. Ends up only being the Icy Wind, so that's gonna allow us to get through this Wild Child. This is gonna get the shield, or it's gonna get the KO. So down goes both of their shields, and we still have our Shadow Drifblim in play. They do have to throw a move, and we're gonna shield here automatically. We know that they still have that Dunsparce, but unfortunately for them, we farm it down, and we farm down the Drifblim. That allows our own Drifblim to come out with an Icy Wind energy, and then we're just going to make sure we shield here, and then we can either throw this move or swap out, but we're just going to throw this move to debuff them even further, and down goes their team. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Shadow Drifblim double shield situation. I think that the Togedemaru did come into play, getting all that damage on that Dunsparce, and then able to get that other shield. Terrible lead. We're going to go into the Azu versus the Diggersby. They get the attack debuff, so far all the luck has been on their side. Then they swap out into their Wiggly. We're going to go for this Flare Up. Unfortunately, it is debuffed, and it doesn't quite get them into the red. We're going to swap out and look for the farm down with our Togedemaru, and we do get the farm down. However, all this energy not really going to go anywhere. So we're just going to try our best to get as many wild charges as possible. It is resisted, but at this point, we're just trying to use up some time and force some energy, and that's exactly the case. Now we have the... Okay, and end game of Shadow Drifblim versus their Primate. We know that we can survive one, so we let the first one go. Now we can start using the shields. In fact, we might get the one show farm down. Yes, we do. And now we still have the Diggersby to deal with. Luckily for us, this Diggersby is running the quick attack, so we're not really taking any fast move pressure. Just like that, both their shields are gone, and they're double debuffed, about to be triple debuffed. Okay, unfortunately, no triple debuff. They get to another Fire Punch, and now it's a race to the move. Their energy dry, and luckily we did have some residual energy, and we are able to reach the Ice Beam for the KO. So GG's able to win that game with the Azu with a sliver of health and cleaning up the backline. All right, next game, we got the Togedemaru lead versus the Annihilate. Another horrible matchup, but we do have two answers, and we get met with a Gastrodon. Not necessarily the best answer, but because the Azu has some little bit of energy advantage, maybe we can get a shield out of this situation. Oh, unfortunately, we get debuffed, and now we're going to be potentially having to use a shield. Okay, looks like we're just going to take the shield advantage and allow this one to go through. We have no choice but to go into the Drifblim, and we do get the farm down. That's really good news for us. So now we're going to be able to come out with an Icy Wind early. We get the damage to go off, and we get their Guzzler to swap out a little bit late. We fire off the Wild Charge. Doesn't quite KO, but it gets them far enough that we can farm down. But they go for the Rage Fist boost. And then just like that, we are able to get the farm down. We have another icy wind. This is going to get the shield, but also more importantly, we are going to be able to chunk away at the Guzzler. So GG's Turpent, able to win that game with a combination of the Drifblim and the Togedemaru, even though we had a horrible lead. Okay, another horrible lead here. We're going to have to go into our Azu, and we get met with a Pidgeot. This is not really an answer to the Azu, so we are definitely very, very suspicious. We are going to let the first one go. It ends up only being the Feather Dance, and that's going to debuff our attack. However, we do keep the shield advantage. Here, we're going to just let this go because we've already got the shield. They decided to go for another Feather Dance, and that's going to allow us to get to another Ice Beam. Just like that, we get to 2-0 shield advantage. And now this Togedemaru doesn't have to worry about any move. Looking for the farm down. They go for the Feather Dance, allowing us to get even more energy. And then we're going to swap out, and we see the mirror match. But we did have slight energy advantage. So that's going to allow us to get to this Icy Wind first. And now this is just GG's because all we have to do is just shield everything and get to the Shadow Ball, I believe. Yep. Shadow Ball is reached with the Shadow Drifblim. Should be enough. And down goes the Gastro. So another comeback from a horrible lead. Able to use the Azu kind of efficiently, honestly, getting shields. All right. Next, we got the Togedemaru versus the Skeletors. Another terrible lead. They do switch out into the Drapion. Drapion looking to get the Crunch debuff. No debuff. We go for the Play Rough. This Play Rough does a decent amount of damage. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to farm down. But we need to get a shield somehow. So we fire off this Ice Beam immediately. And this is probably no shield. They're going to come back in here with their Skeletors. Now they know that our moveset does not have the Hydro. Our opponent does correctly try to farm us down. And they're just going to tank all that energy. And now we're kind of in a bad spot because this Skeletors, with all this energy, we go for the Peekaboo play. Let's see if this is going to be helpful. And unfortunately, we get farmed down, and our own Togedemaru just had no chance to win. Unfortunately, unable to get that win right there. So we're just going to go into the Drifblim. Drifblim is going to get an icy win, but we're going to get farmed down. So unfortunately, that's how it ends. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.